Hey everyone, hope you had a good weekend. It's Monday. I'll be back on Friday. Looking forward to see you again. I'm sure I'm having a great time out there. Um, we're going to do this worksheet today. I'm not having it as homework. We're just going to work on it in class and just get better at working with story problems, right? And how to write our answers. All right, we're going to do 3 problems together, and the rest you'll do in class on your own. And again, help each other. Get these things up on the document camera. Help each other get answers to these. All right, let's start with problem 1. And this one's all working with this worksheet with triangles and rectangles. So we're going to do a rectangle problem first. The length of a rectangle is 3 times the width, and the perimeter is 96 centimeters. Find the width and length, blah, 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 all that stuff. So we're going to draw a little rectangle out here. 4 sides, not a square. 4 sides, and they're all going to be the same when you see rectangle, right? We've got a length, and we've got a width. And we're going to have to get this down to one variable, either using the width or the length. And this is how it's going to work. So it says the length of the rectangle is 3 times as big as the width. So what we're going to end up doing is crossing off this length. We're not going to use it because we know that it can be replaced with 3 times the width. So instead, we're going to call it 3 times the width. So this side is 3 times the width. This side is 3 times the width. This side over here is the width. And so when it comes down and it's asking us about the perimeter is 96 centimeters, notice that the perimeter is just walking around. It's the length of that side plus the length of this side plus the length of this side plus the length of this side. And that's our perimeter. And I'd like you to take all these notes so you have something to reference with to remind you, okay? So when we go find the width and length, we're writing an equation with an answer equal to 96. And what we have is that width, walking around, plus the length, which is 3w, plus 3w, plus the width again, plus 3w. So I've walked around, that's my perimeter. And they say that this perimeter equals 96. So that's the equation I'm using. And now all I do is solve for this, and then I can go back and figure out what my length and width is. So what we're going to do next is we're going to flip the paper over, and we're going to rewrite this equation on the back of our paper. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to write problem 1 was a w plus 3w plus a w plus 3w, and that equaled 96. Yeah. And let's go solve this equation. Okay, step 1. Are there any parentheses? No. Step 2. Is there combining like terms? Absolutely. I've got a w, w. These are all the w's. We just add them up. 3 of them, 6 of them, 7 of them, 8 of them. Remember, there's an invisible 1 in front of each of those. So we have 8 w's equal to 96. And so when I solve this equation, now I'm skipping step 4, skipping step 5, and I'm down to my last step where it says get rid of that coefficient with an invisible 1, right? And that's by doing 8, top and bottom. Those cancel, and I get that the w equals, grab your calculators if you want, 96 divided by 8. I'll get 12. I know that the width of that rectangle is 12. So now, what is the length? So the width is 12. I'm going to scoot over here. And the length was 3 times that, was 3 times 12, or the length equals 36. So I've got my answer here. Width is 12, length is 36. Let's flip our paper over and find that answer on the worksheet, okay? So I'm looking for a 12 and a 36. So I'm scanning through these answers, 12 and 36. Yeah, some of you already spotted it. Nice. So it's this one here. This is the answer to problem 1, is the letter E. So I'm going to go now up here to this problem 1 and remind myself that was the letter E. came from over here. And now I go to the bottom of my page, and everywhere where there's a number 1, problem 1, it shows up multiple times, I'm going to put the letter E. 1, 2, 3. I only see it 3 times. Does it show up anywhere else? I think that's it. Please just correct it if I'm wrong and let the sub know. Okay, so we have done problem 1. Let's do 2 more, and then you can do the rest of these in class on your own. Problem 4 was interesting. So I want to take a look at problem 4. And again, we have that rectangle, right? So I'm going to go ahead again and draw. I'd like you to do this in all the problems. A width and a length. And one of those is going to be replaced with something. And it happens right in here. The length. So we're not going to use the length because it is 2 centimeters less. That means we're going to subtract 2. 2 centimeters less than 7 times the width. Then 7 times the width. So this length here is actually 7 times the width minus 2. So I got top and bottom is 7 times the width minus 2. And the other side here is a W also. So again, just like the other problem, right, where we strung these out, this one's going to equal 60 centimeters. The perimeter, right, that's going all the way around is 60 centimeters. And let's add it up. So I got a W plus 7W minus 2 plus W plus 7W minus 2, and the total is 60. And again, we're going to flip our paper over and rewrite this and solve it as an equation, okay? And you might need extra paper for this. So let's go ahead and flip our paper over and do this. So I'm going to just jump right to problem 6. So I've got you have to write this. What do we have? W and 7W minus 2. W, 7W minus 2. W, 7W minus 2. And this total was 60. I'll draw my line coming down. Is there a distributive property? Do you see parentheses? No. And so we're going to go immediately to combining like terms. And notice that we've got multiple like terms here. I've got my variable, and then I've also got the numbers that show up twice. My W's are 7, 14, 15, 16. I got 16 W's, and minus 2 and a minus 4 equals 60. So once I'm into the equation mode, I don't need to worry about what is the story talking about. I can just go solve this, right? So I think it's step 3 where we're getting the constant on the opposite side of the variable, right? And we do that with a 0 pair. So it's like this. And we're getting our 16W equals 64. And then that last step, notice again, here's your coefficient, the number in front of the variable, and we get rid of that with making it a 1, 16 over 16 on both sides. And now we got it done. 64 divided by 16 is 4, I'm hoping. And so we got our width equal to 4. So in the answers that I'm looking for, the width is 4, but notice that the length is 7 times the width, which we now know is 4, minus 2. So our length is 28 minus 2, or our length is 26. The length is 26. Notice how I'm writing this so I can go find my answer on the other side. Oh, sorry, out of the camera. And you can't tell me because I'm not with you right now, huh? So this is what I wrote. Width is 4, the length was 7 times the width minus 2, 28 minus 2. So we're looking for a 4 and a 26. A 4 and a 26. Flip the paper over, let's find it. 4 and a 26. It ends up being, where do you guys see it anywhere? 4 and 26. Yeah, right below. You guys are fast. You found it faster than me. Okay, 4 and a 26. The letter S is for problem 4. The letter S is for problem 4. And so we go down to the bottom of problem 4. Everywhere we see a 4 is the letter S. S. I think there's only 2 of them. That's all I found. Maybe you found more. 2 of them. All right. Let's go do a triangle problem, and then I'll let you go on your own. Okay, triangle. Problem 6. Looks like a good one. Sorry, I wrote that problem down. That's not 6. Sorry, that's problem 4. Mix these up. Now we're doing 6. That last one was problem 4. Too bad you couldn't tell me I made a mistake. All right, 6. It's a triangle. Draw a triangle, please. And a triangle has 3 sides. There's a first side, a second side, and a third side. There's side 1, which I'm going to say side A, side 2, side B, side 3, side C. And we're going to get this all down to one letter. And this looks like this. The first side is 8 meters shorter than the second side. The first side is the second side minus 8. So the first side, and I can scratch this out now, it's the second side minus 8. 8 shorter than the second side. Would be minus 8. And then we see the third side, side C, is 4 times as long as the first side. Here's my first side now, B minus 8. And side C is 4 times longer. And so this gets really interesting. Now we've got our parentheses 4 times longer than that first side, which is now a B minus 8. See how that works? And so now we're going to our perimeter all the way around was 26 centimeters. So the first side plus the second side plus the third side is going to equal 26 meters. So let's go add this up. First side is B minus 8. The second side is just B. And the third side, right, not using C anymore, is 4 times B minus 8. And all together, that perimeter equals 26. So now let's flip our paper over and do problem 6. And let me get it here so you can see it. I'll let you finish copying that. You can also rewatch the video on Google Classroom, or the sub can pause the video for you if you need to, right? So problem 6, we have B minus 8 plus B plus 4 times B minus 8. And all of this is going to equal 26. Now I can forget about the story problem and just solve the equation. Do we have parentheses? Is there a distributive property? Yes. Right? So I've got to distribute that. And I get 4B minus 32. And then I have here my B, my negative 8, and my B, and on the other side of 26. Step 2, combining like terms, right? And so in this one, B's, 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 and a number and a number. So let's combine these, right? 4, 5, 6 B's. And my number, negative 32 and negative 8 becomes negative 40. Equals 26. Now I'm getting the constant to the opposite side of the variable. Raise this up a bit. By creating a 0 pair. It should start to become familiar to you now. We've been doing this for quite a while, and I got 66, and that coefficient gets turned into an invisible 1. 6 over 6 is 1. Do it to both sides, and we're done, and we get our B. The second length side is 11. So I'm wondering what side A is, what side B is, and what side C is. 3 sides of the triangle, and we know that B is 11. We knew that side A was B minus 8. So side A was side B minus 8, or 3. the shortest side, first side was 3. And the last side, C, was 4 times longer than side A. 4 times longer than side A, or 4 times 3, or 12. And so our 3 numbers that we're looking for are 3, 11, and 12. Well, I guess I didn't let you see that, did I? 3, 11, 12. Here's side 2, which we figured out. The first side was 8 shorter than that second side. It's 3. And the last side was 4 times longer than the first side, or 12. So 3, 11, 12. Let's look for it on the other side. 3, 11, 12. And it's right up at the top here. Is the letter O is going to go to problem 6. So the problem 6 is the letter O. Go down to the bottom and make all your 6's O's. 1, 2, and I think there's 3 out at the end. Right, I got 3 of them. And when you're done, this should solve the riddle of what is the quickest way for an ant to go from the ground to the tree trunk. These are usually stupid riddles, but kind of fun to solve. All right, have fun with this. It's not homework, but I'd like you to spend the rest of the class period to do this. Thanks. See you tomorrow.